Hello everyone, my name is Irina. Welcome to my channel. This is my second video. So in my first video I talk a little bit about myself and about how I am a low-income single mom with two kids with no external help, started my journey to achieve some sort of financial stability in my life. If you're interested in that video, the link will be in the description. So in this video, I want to talk about cutting expenses. Cutting expenses is not the goal. The goal is to live debt free and to save some money for a rainy day. You can do it two ways. Either you spend less or you make more. Making more wasn't in the cards for me, so I had to go with spending less. Before cutting your expenses, you have to know them. And what you can do for that, you can create a log, like a journal, and each month you would write money in, money out. Although two very important points about doing that journal. First, you have to do it for a few months. There are two reasons for that. First reason is doing it for a few months will give you the chance actually to see the progress and to be proud of yourself, which is very important because it encourages you. And second main reason why you have to do it for a few months, because on top of writing expenses in that journal, you can also write the techniques that you use to save money. And by doing for a few months, you can see what works and what doesn't. And a second main point when you're going to do this journal, do not just write, okay, today I spent $100 or like 100 tomorrow, or like next day I spend 150. In this case, you have to know exactly where your money goes. So you would write by category. Okay. Today, sorry, I'm still have this index cards because it's my second video and I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. So I understand that everybody's different. Everybody's expenses are different. And today I would go through my expenses, my categories, and I will tell you what I do to save money in each category. Hopefully you'll find something useful for yourself. But then after that, you would create your own plan and come up with your own ways to save money. Okay? So let's look at my spending categories. As you can see, I actually group them together, some of them, and I will explain why. Because for each group of categories, I have a similar approach, how I save money in that particular group. For example, my first group, food, pharmacy, gas, going out. But before I go any further, actually, I want to just say a few more words about, because as you can see, my first category is food. And I want to say a few extra words about how I do food shopping. Even though at this point of my life, I already managed to have no debt, to save money, and to live within my means, I still do shopping list every time I go shopping. Because we all know if you go without list or if you go hungry, you always buy stuff that you do not need. So do the shopping list. Another reason why I do shopping list, I actually next to each item, I write the store, to which store I go to buy that item. Yes, you can save money and buy everything in the same supermarket, but I prefer to spend a little bit more money, I mean, more time, but to actually save money. So when I go food shopping, I use three criterias. One is price, obviously. So by choosing this store, I know which item is less, cost less compared to other stores. Like, for example, I love Aldi because it's very budget friendly. My second principle is environment. And by that, I mean that I do not want to create extra waste. So I prefer to shop bulk if I can for, you know, for grains, for coffee, for many other products. I like to go to shop bulk. Two actually main reasons: no packaging, no extra waste, and no waste of food. Because I usually buy as much as I need. And that's kind of, I want just a side note. When it comes to saving money, you would have to do a lot of planning ahead. And that's what I do. For example, I plan for a few days ahead, like what I'm going to cook. And let's say I'm planning to bake. So I know how much flour I need. So I go with the container, I buy that much flour. In this case, all my products are always fresh. I do not have any old flour, old something. Yes, I know it might sound irresponsible for some, because when the doomsday comes, I don't have anything extra. But there's a reason for that. I like my products to be fresh, and we always live in small apartments. I don't even have room to store all that extra stuff. I don't have a pantry. For the same reason, I don't like to go to Costco to and other wholesale clubs. You waste lots of money. You probably been through that. I know I have. You go for a couple things, but you end up with $300 receipt at the end. And I don't have room to store any, those big boxes. And the third principle, I use quality of food. And by that, I mean organic versus non-organic. I'm not paranoid. I can buy non-organic, but because even organic stuff at the supermarket, it doesn't really taste that much better anyway. So I prefer to go to farmers market, especially when it's summertime. I always go to farmer markets for my produce. And some people, I think, at least from my experience, some people hesitate because they think that it's farmers markets are expensive, but it's not always the case. First of all, if you are low income, you probably get some food stamps, and they are accepted at the farmers market. They're always I know there are some other programs, they can give you like a voucher to spend at the farmer market. You just have to go. There's always like at the each farmer market has a table with some people that you can ask questions, about all those programs. So that's about food shopping. Oh, actually, about farmers market, I have two tips. You can go closer to the end. At that point, some vendors already reduce prices. And another thing I use, I ask for seconds. For example, if I want to do tomato sauce at home, I don't care if tomatoes look good. I go to the vendor and ask them if they have seconds. So they can give me the whole box of not too good looking tomatoes, which is still good for me, for my sauce, but it's going to be much, much cheaper. So that's how I approach food shopping. Shopping list is very important for me. Helps me with planning and kind of, figuring out where I go, which store. So let's go back to my categories. So when it comes to food shopping or pharmacy or gas or like going out, what I use first for supermarkets, for pharmacies, I use CVS. I go to CVS. I use store apps. Most of the coupons right now, they digital. So you open, let's say I go to CVS, I open CVS app, I go to coupons, I see if something applies to what I need, and I just click send to the cart, send to the cart. Also at CVS, when you shop today, you accumulate some sort of cash back. So next time when you come, you see, let's say you have $2 cash back, you can also send to the card. And then when you go to cash register, all those discounts apply automatically. It saves money. I also use cashback apps. Maybe there's some other apps, but I use Upside. Upside has a choice of grocery stores, restaurants, and gas stations where you can get cash back. I mostly use for gas. After a while, you will kind of see which gas stations work with Upside. So you go there And you just open the app, you click claim, you choose the payment method, and then let's say it says that at this gas station, the upside gives me 10% or 10 cents off the gallon. So I fill up 15 gallons and I get $1.50, and it accumulates inside of that app. So when you're ready, when a certain amount accumulates, you can just move it for free to your bank account. I also use credit cards with cashback, but I would do a separate video because it's a large topic. I want to talk about all my credit cards. And I still use paper coupons, either at the cash register when you pay and they print it. I just go through them quickly and I see which ones I can save and use. I put them in my purse, and then some of them come in the mail. And also for restaurants, they send menus with some coupons and some specials. I use that as well. To be honest, going out category is not that huge for me at this point. First of all, I cook a lot at home. That's how I grew up. And I still go out. It's not like, my life is boring and I never go out. No, I do. Sometimes I go out just to socialize. I can go for a cup of coffee, for a glass of beer, for a glass of wine. I don't have to go for a meal every time. So, because when I see people like buying Starbucks every morning and then ordering lunch and then ordering dinner, to be honest, I do not know how they do that. They either rich or they live over their credit cards. And that's not the way I live right now. So that's why it's not a huge category for me, at least. So next group would be clothing, furniture, household items, or similar something. So for this category, I use a lot of secondhand stores, garage sales, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. Discount. I understand that not everyone, sometimes like where we live right now, for example, we have lots of secondhand stores, but none of them really have like nice selection of clothing. So for that, I would use discount stores like TJ Maxx, like Ross. Also, there's such thing as clothing swap. If you have lots of friends, you can get together and exchange clothes for free. So all these places actually save me so much money. In my first video, I do talk about that we moved a lot. We lived in different states, different towns. Every time we move, we usually go just with a small U-Haul trailer with just personal belongings. So every time I have to get rid of my furniture, and then after we move, I have to furnish my apartment again. These places save me lots of money. For example, this one in upstate New York, where we live right now, we moved a few months ago. Living room, kitchen, and 2 small bedrooms I furnished for like $300, including, I go for like frames and artwork, also to secondhand. Saves a lot. The next category would be the stuff that I buy online. That usually like my facial creams, my henna that I use for my hair, my makeup, my like pet products for my dog, like when I book hotel. Why online? For example, for pet products, I can go to Petco or PetSmart. I do not go to physical stores for another reason, because they do sell live animals and I do not really want to support that. For my makeup, I use e.l.f. Very affordable, and also they do not test on animals. Again, I can go to Target because they sell e.l.f. But I prefer to do this shopping online because of online deals. For pet stuff, for pet, I use Chewy.com. They have lots of deals all the time, and e.l.f. also I use for deals. When I do online shopping, another thing I use application called Rakuten. You install it into your computer, and then every time you do online shopping, it actually pops up automatically on your screen. Let's say I'm on e.l.f. website, and it pops up and it says Rakuten will give you 10% off. So on top of all those discounts that I can get as a member, I also get cash back through Rakuten, and it's similar to Upside. It accumulates inside of that application. And then if you, like every 3 or 4 months, they send you money. I just transferred to my PayPal account. So like every 3 4 months, I get 20, 30, $40. Not bad. And again, I use credit cards with cash back. Another category would be car. My car is old. It's 24 years old, Toyota Camry, but it's really good and I take care of it. How I save money when it comes to my car. First of all, I don't like to go to body shops because I think they charge too much and sometimes I feel like I cannot really trust them. We move a lot, but somehow I was lucky. Every time we move, I managed to find a good mechanic that works out of his garage through Craigslist, I find, or through some other sources. We usually buy parts online. Either he buys with his discounts or I buy online and then he installs it for much, much, much less. So that's how I save money when it comes to fixing my car. Another category for me here is insurance, car insurance. First thing I want to mention, I never go to places that work just for one insurance company, let's say Farmer's Office or Progressive Office. I don't go there. I go to the agency that actually works with different insurance companies because in this case, based on your situation, they can find you a good deal. My situation that I have a really nice long driving record. So my car is paid off and my driving record is good. So I can buy really nice and cheap liabilities only insurance. I know not everybody might go for liabilities because it's a little bit risky if you if it's going to be your fault, the liabilities obviously will not cover you. But I take this kind of, I trust myself as a driver. I take that chance. And for right now, I'm trying to save money. So I go for liabilities only. But on top of that, what I also can save, I pay in full. That gives me additional discount. And here in New York State, I take a defensive driving course online, which costs like $25, I believe. But after you get your certification and send to your insurance company, they give you 10% off for 3 years. So it's worth it. Another category I have gym, but it's not really much at this point. I used to go to gym. I love to take classes, but then COVID started. I kind of switched to YouTube and I still do that on YouTube. I found my favorite yoga instructor. I just buy her like membership, $12 a month to have access to the exclusive classes, and that's about it. So those are my categories. Again, hopefully you find some information that you can use to create your own plan. One more approach when it comes to shopping, I wanted to mention. When it comes to buying something expensive or the thing that you want to last for a long time, for example, I would, I can take winter boots, good quality, well-made winter boots. You want them to last for a few years, right? But they can cost money, 300, 400, I don't know. What you do, you go for quality. You do buy nice, expensive winter boots because you want them to last. As we all probably heard that, how that goes, the saying, buy cheap, no, buy cheap, buy twice. I think that's how it goes. When you do that, and of course, I'm not talking about kids, like my son is a teenager. I'm not gonna buy expensive like shoes for him because he grows. I don't. So I can buy expensive winter boots for myself. And to do that, I would recommend save first and then buy. You can create a piggy bank at home, or you can open an account and name it my new winter boots and then put away money and buy after that. It would help you instead of putting in on your credit cards and again paying interest and creating more debt. So that's how I started cutting my expenses. And yes, it required a lot of planning ahead and a lot of self-discipline, but it's very doable. In my next video, I probably will talk about decluttering because I did that as well, and I think it helps. And I also talk, remember at the beginning, I said that you can do it two ways. You either spend less or make more. But since I couldn't make more, I had to go with spending less. But in my next video, I also want to talk about some side jobs that you can do, because on if you can cut expenses, but at the same time you can create a little bit more income, it will definitely speed up your process. You will pay your debt sooner and you can start saving sooner. Thank you for watching. Hopefully someone made it to the end, and I'll see you next time.